All right. It is December 10th, around 11:30 p.m. Having some chamomile tea and just having a thought. Um, Let me ask you guys a question. Does the How much does the Constitution of the United States matter to you? Should the Constitution matter in 2020? Should the Constitution matter in current times? Do you believe in the Constitution? See, the reason why the case that Texas has brought matters to me as someone that supports Trump is not that it is probably currently the best chance for Trump to win. The reason why it matters goes to the answer of that question. As A.G. Paxton's pointed out in his suit, it's either the Constitution matters or it doesn't, right? I think that America was an idea. Obviously, the founding fathers were immensely brilliant, right? But I think that that idea is slowly being lost. I would say in the annals of time, but the country's not that old. So I think that the ideas that America was built on were great ideas. They enabled us to get to where we are right now, but I think those ideas are scarcely being preserved. I think they have been eroded over the past decades, and currently you have this thing about there are rarely any real intellectuals nowadays, and actually our society is not conducive to discourse amongst the few intellectuals that we do have. What we do have is a lot of academics in society, people that have gone through academia and learned whatever I guess their universities wanted them to learn. And that's really what we have right now. A lot of ideologues in society that, hardly identify with those values, ideas that America was based on, created on, right? They hardly have any respect for those principles or even the founding fathers themselves. As we can see, a lot of powerful people, and they're supported by, I would argue, a big part of the population, maybe not over 50%, but a big part of the population, would tear down statues, and completely rebuild the country based on their own ideas. Coincidentally, a lot of those ideas were tried, in various ways in various countries over the years, and largely failed miserably. But, if you try and fail, why not try and fail again, right? But this is not really to go, against anyone and their ideas. As a matter of fact, that's the beautiful thing about America, right? You're supposed to be free to share ideas. We're finding more and more that we're not free or very free to share those ideas on social media and, other avenues. Mainstream media, social media, a lot of that stuff doesn't really want you to share ideas or permit you to share your ideas, You might be banished from polite society. So the reason why this case, just going back to the case, it points out something very simple, right? Either the Constitution matters or it doesn't. When we joined as a union, right, and we came up to the whole electoral clause of the Constitution basically says that each state should appoint their electors according to their legislature. It's obvious that in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, they did otherwise, right? And it is a true statement that if that's done, it's going to violate equal protection, right? And it's also going to dilute those votes. It's going to directly affect every state. If you're playing a game and one person's breaking the rules, or a few people are breaking the rules, it's going to affect everyone that's playing the game. It's going to affect the overall outcome. There's no way around that. But then again, you'll see people arguing for and against that point. What we really have is a very pivotal point in the history of our country. This goes beyond Republican and Democrats. Care less if you're, independent. It doesn't matter, libertarian, whatever you are, right? This is a very pivotal point in the history of the United States, because this is one of those moments, right? And if you get to live through one of them, enjoy it. Because again, this is one of those cases in which the founding of the country, the Constitution, right? The document that rests above all others. It's either it matters now or it doesn't. And what we'll see in the next couple of days is the reflection, the answer to that question. I would just say, everyone should think to themselves, what it really is, right? What it really is that matters to you in these current times. That's a serious thing to think about. A lot of us get lost in our jobs or or family life or personal life or what have you. But as you're working every day, right, to create something for yourself and for your families and whatever else, giving back to society, you should always, I believe, look to and reflect on what really matters in terms of, the country that you're living in and its future. Because, as I believe Benjamin Franklin said, a republic, if you can keep it, you shouldn't really take everything for granted or, delegate everything that, every matter of thought to someone else, especially not the government, right? Just think about it. It goes beyond party lines. Just think about it. And if anything else, if at the very least, pay attention to this moment. Remember where you were. Remember how you experienced it. I think a lot of people will experience it without thought, completely in ignorance. But for those of us that are watching and paying attention, you know, remember it, and if you can, do your part, any little part. But this is a pivotal moment in the country where we're literally going to see if the Constitution matters or not. Good night.